What's up, Team Metal GH15? We're here with Matt Savard, Matty S4 from the boards. Came on the scene with a splash at GH15 recently, moving up the ranks really fast in the NPC, and recently signed on with Team Metal. Matt, when did you start competing?
I started last year in Alaska Bodybuilding Fitness and Figure Federation.
We talked a little bit yesterday about how you ended up in Alaska. Why don't you tell people about that? That's interesting.
Yeah, well, my wife got a contract from the federal government. She has her PhD in clinical sexology, so they paid for us to move out there and work for a tribal organization to travel around to native villages where there's a lot of trauma and things like that. And,
Right.
So it was interesting. She got to fly around the state and.
So she was there for a few years, and you went out and joined her for about a year.
Yep.
What did you think of Alaska?
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was absolutely beautiful.
You had a pretty good hookup too, right? Like work-wise.
Yeah, my job was great. I mean, I had it was a city job, so it was a union job, and I worked at the rec center in the town, so it was literally the only gym for hundreds of miles.
Right.
And it was like I said, it was a city union job, so the pay was good.
That's
benefits,
great.
Everything.
It's like pretty much what everybody's looking for.
Yeah.
A desk job at a gym that pays like a doctor.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. Regarding competing, in general, how do you find the judging in the physique class? Because I think that's something that a lot of people are noticing. There's not a lot of consistency. At least we don't think so from a spectator point of view. As a competitor, what's that like? Trying to figure out what they're looking for and bring that to them.
Oh, geez. Yeah, you just never know. If you try to fit a certain category, I don't think it's ever going to really go your way.
So you're like 5'10", 5'11"?
Yeah, I'm right under 6 foot.
Right. So what class is that? Is that the tallest class, or is there one above that?
There's over 6, which...
like Mongoloid class?
Yeah, it's Class C is my usual one, which is 5'10" to 6 feet, and then over 6 feet would be Class D.
Right.
But they do a height check every show,
right.
So I've competed in C class and in D class. They
right.
had me at 5'11" and a quarter at the Cutler, and then they had me at 6 foot 1/2 at the Atlantics.
Really?
So human error.
What were you on? You grew 3/4 of an inch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think what most people feel about the physique class is that, at least on the local level, even some of the bigger shows that we have, the Cutler, the NPC shows that are like the Atlantic States, New York shows, we feel like the bodybuilders are bigger in New York maybe, and so the physique athletes are bigger there too. But here in New England, which should be some of the biggest shows in the country, because they are bodybuilding-wise, but that they go for the smaller people, and they're penalizing people that have size. Is that what you're noticing, or is it just like you have abs, you win?
The people, when I did the Cutler, it was a completely different crowd than the Atlantics.
Yeah, you told me it was like a totally different experience.
Yeah, the guys that won the Atlantics were monsters,
yeah.
And the physique guys, they could have easily...
They've been bodybuilders pretty much.
Easily been bodybuilders. A couple of them that I had spoken to had competed in bodybuilding.
Right.
And, you can see, like, when they did first call-outs, I was up there with the top 4 guys, and they just, towered over me.
Right. Size-wise.
Size-wise. Not height-wise, but size-wise. The guy that won, I don't know if he's lying or not, but he was saying he was 210 pounds that morning.
Wow.
I was probably 185.
Wow.
So, I mean...
I saw some pictures. He did look... I don't know if he was 210, but he did look like he was pretty big.
He was big. He was a lot bigger than me in person. Like, when I saw him, I was like, God damn!
Yeah. So the focus for you really is to find print work, to get your brand, your look out there, and, try to make a living doing that rather than necessarily become a pro. Of course, that's a byproduct of being good at what you're doing, but I would imagine... It is for a lot of bodybuilders, but I imagine even more so for you that you can't build your body to fit a standard that's going to change, because there is no, at the top of physique, there's no standard. There's no Phil Heath. So what are you going to build? The best thing that you know how. Yep. So what you're trying to do, I'd imagine, is get more print work, and you've been pretty successful at that. Can you talk a little bit about how you're going about getting shoots done and people calling you at all to get things done. You know.
Well, as far as that goes, like I had always, from when I first started competing, the guys that I was talking to that were successful at it always said, when you're shredded, book photo shoots, pay for them because it's going to pay
Right.
off. And I never really understood that, so I just did it because that's what people told me to
Right.
do. And then after I started booking them and getting the pro shots, other photographers started calling me and saying, I'll shoot you for free if we just, if you let me use your pictures.
Right. They liked your look. They thought you could get some good images with what they like to do.
Yep,
Because the
exactly.
guy you're working with now really lends. It kind of has a dark tone to it. Really lends towards your look that you currently rock with the mohawk.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the mohawk? How did that happen?
that just was a I before I moved to Alaska, I was the project manager for a mechanical engineering company.
Right.
So I had to cover my tattoos, I had to dress proper. I always dealt with customers. When we moved to Alaska, there's 3,000 people in the town. It's just a free for all. So
Yeah.
I think because I had to be so clean cut and everything, when I finally got a job where I didn't, I just said, hey, let's try this. And then I just, the wife loves it, so I just kept it going, and it kind of helped build a reputation for me.
Right.
I don't know if it helps or hurts as far as physique competitions and judging and things, but it certainly.
Has anyone said it would hurt you?
No one said it would hurt me, even when we asked for like judges' feedback and things.
I mean, obviously
Just-
everyone's tatted up now.
Everyone has tattoos, and when you're real dark, you can't even really see them
No.
anyway. So, but it's definitely helped build, my personal image, and a lot of people recognize me because of the crazy mohawk, the tattoos.
Right.